Barely a week after our last sale of the season, we began the preparation needed to get Odyssey ready for Haulout. In a matter of weeks, our Catalina Capri 26 transitioned from being on the water to one being on the hard under winter cover. Before we can say that our 2023 sailing season was finished, there were still a few things to attend to prior to Haulout, like making 6 new supports for the cradle posts.
Doing some upgrades on the cradle post pads. We had some smaller pads before, probably just about the size of this plate, which is about 6 inches by 6 inches. And I'm going to a 12 inch by 12 inch pad now. At the same time, I've also added this foam, which is used in for bases in construction, to help distribute the weight a little bit more, so that distribute the load point, because it'll compress a little bit, so it'll hopefully carry it more. Not that I was having a problem with it, but I just think it's a better system. I'm just finishing off my last 2 pads. So I got some carpeting from a carpet supply store. They had some leftovers. I went over there, I got some, and they just gave it to me. I'm just screwing it down, making sure it's going to stay. At the same time, the plywood that I have now, it's a bit better than the plywood that was here before. This is an 11 layer plywood, which is much more, it's a lot stronger than the 7 layer that I had, that was provided to us before. This is the finished product. A little bit dirty, some sawdust.
Then the winter covers were taken out of their bags to be power washed and dried. Less than a week after our final sale, we returned to the marina for more pre-haul-out prep work. So we just came back from the fuel dock and the pump out dock. We top up the fuel and add the stabilizer, and we also did pump out. And it's been so windy, so that when we motored back to our slip, the wind is coming from the west. So when we motored back to our slip just around the corner before we went into this fairway, the wind was so windy that when the wind hit us broadside, it actually heeled Odyssey. So for very briefly there, we were heeling, even though the sails were all put away. Our next job is to change the oil filter, change the oil and change the filter. And I leave that up to Paolo to do. I'll put in the description box the links to the video series of our fall haul-out process during our first year of boat ownership. If you're interested, check them out.
This is MotoMaster, but I prefer to get something else. It's made by Shell anyways, but I prefer to get fully synthetic. This is only semi-synthetic. Same thing I used last time. Okay.
Today's work done, time to head back home. A week later, we were back at it again. We're here in the marina early in the morning. It's time to get Odyssey ready for winter haul-out. So for today, what we're planning to do is bring down all the sails, the head sail and the main sail, and the boom as well. And if we have time, we might also dismantle the bimini.
mainsail down, out.
Okay, we have the boom down, we have the mainsail removed, and now we are going to bring down the headsail, the Genoa.
It comes out so easy, it's supposed to go up.
So we're finished for the day, and the next time we'll be here is when it will be Haulout. We couldn't ask for a more lovely day to bring down the sails and the boom, and fingers crossed that it'll be calm and mild when we do our haul out next week. It's been a frosty morning, and so the marina and the staff needs to do some preparatory work to keep the docks safe, the slips safe, and so it might take a while before our haul out begins, but as it turns out, it's probably a good time because we have that lag time before our haul out, so that we can go and fix the issue that we have with the cradle.
We came and installed the pads for the cradle, and I thought everything was okay, and I got here, and this post over here is moving, is flexing, whereas this one is not. There's a bolt over here that looks like somebody took it out of this post, so somebody sabotaged our boat, our cradle. Maybe I'm going to take this one over here out and go over to a good old local hardware shop. So I'm just going to go to the hardware store and get one of these.
After returning from the hardware store with the new bolt, Paolo secured it to the cradle post. Then he checked the new support pads one more time. Satisfied, we then headed over to the slip where Odyssey is docked to move her where the travel lift is located. First thing was to unstep the mast. Paolo first unscrewed the turnbuckles for the lower shrouds. Then Odyssey was led towards the crane, which will hold and support the mast, while Paolo and the others unscrewed the turnbuckles for the upper shrouds, the forestay, and the backstay. The mast plate screwed to the bottom of the mast will be the last to be removed before the crane lifts the mast from the deck. With the mast removed, Odyssey was then guided onto the slings of the travel lift. From the travel lift to her cradle, the trailer transported Odyssey to her winter resting spot. Another successful haul-out completed. Good morning, and we're back in the marina today to continue with our winter preparation. We are going to be winterizing the engine and the plumbing system. And the plan also is to power wash the deck and the hull. It's cold at the moment. It's also quite windy. So that's, well, those are just the conditions we have to work with. But hopefully it won't hinder us too much. So we didn't empty our water tank before we hauled out. So at the moment, what we're doing right now is we're emptying the water tank prior to winterizing it.
Keep this thing upright.
With a bucket underneath the true hull, we pumped out the antifreeze. The bilge pump is in auto/man. It's on the manual switch at the moment. And then, ouch. So after filling the engine cooling system with antifreeze, we then it drained in the bilge, and so we continued to pump out the antifreeze. And now that's done, and we're just cleaning the bilge one final time. So what am I looking at?
This is the zinc bolt head, and I did it for the first time after 3 years. I meant to do this last spring when we launched, but I never got around to it. I don't know if it's just completely eaten away, which is very, very, very bad, or if it just broke off inside there, because it looks like there's something. It may be old and it may have broken off in there. I don't know. I want to see if I can get something to sort of poke in there and see if there's anything else inside there.
Remind me, what's the zinc for?
It keeps the engine from rusting out.
Oh wow, if that's the zinc.
This is the zinc. I think the one we have that was inside there. It may have broken off over here. Maybe because it was just too corroded or something, but I can't go in very deep anyways. I use a probe to try and go in, and it doesn't go in very deep, so I don't know what I got to do there. I may have to do maybe some sort of drilling or something. I don't even know how deep that is. I don't know if there's anything on the manual that tells me how long the zinc should be. I've seen some people install a zinc on their boat on YouTube, and they just basically had a long piece of zinc and they just cut it to fit in. I don't know how long ours is supposed to be. I may have to I don't know if the manual will say anything either. It should, I would say. Tell me how long it should be, so that way it tells me. But if there's something in there, somehow I gotta take it out. I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but I gotta figure that out. Maybe the old zinc may have just broke off over here. I don't know. Right at the base. So we got the new one and the old one.
A week later, there was one final task to be completed. Cover Odyssey for the winter. Then we can say that our 2023 sailing season was done. It's a bright sunny day in winter and sailing Odyssey is snug under her winter cover. The 2024 sailing season may seem far away, but before you know it, it's spring. Thank you for watching. I put out videos of my sailing, travel, and outdoor adventures. If this interests you, tap on the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of a new episode. For now, fair winds to all.